Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube citizens, this is your boy Dash Drew Inferno. And it's time for another episode of Throwback Tunes on another Thursday. And this week we are reviewing Capital Punishment by Big Pun, aka Big Punisher, rest in peace, by the Ray. Now, this is Big Pun's debut album, which is, in my opinion, another one of those albums that is an all-time great, one of the best rap/hip-hop albums of all time, and you're about to find out why. So let's get straight into this review. Now, there are a grand total of 24 tracks on this album. However, out of the 24, 8 of them are skits. So in reality, there's 16 tracks on this album, but out of the 8 skits, 2 of them contain some pretty hardcore beats. I ain't gonna front, but we'll get more of that later. Now let's get on to the singles. So there was 4 singles that came out with this album, for this album rather. The album came out April 28, 1998, by the way. The first single came out October 14, 1997. So at this point, I was in middle school. And the first single was I'm Not a Player, which was track number 16. And, you know, I'll get more about how I feel about that track in a minute. And then, of course, the second single came out, which was Still Not a Player, which came out March 28, 1998. So we talking like approximately a month before the album came out. And that's the track where I was like, yeah, I gotta get this album. So yeah, when I first saw the video, heard the song, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get this album. Then that's exactly what I did. And then 4 days after my birthday, August 22nd, 1998, the third single came out with You Came Up. Now let me go back to Still Not a Player, because Still Not a Player also featured Joe on the hook. You Came Up features Noriega on the hook, and that was another outro track. And then the fourth single came out 7 days later, called Twins Deep Cover 98, featuring Fat Joe, and that was another outro song. Yes, the same deep cover song that was done by Snoop and Dre. In fact, if you watch the music video, Snoop is in the video. So yeah, there you go with that. Now let me give you a little bit of a background history regarding this album. It's not like in depth like last week's album that I reviewed, When Disaster Strikes by Busta Rhymes. This is the solo debut album for Big Pun. Came out again April 28, 1998. You know, it was a very popular album, by the way. And it was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 1999 Grammy Awards. However, it lost to Volume 2 Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z. And it went platinum. And it's actually the first Latin hip-hop album to go platinum. Now let's get into the reviews by professional companies. All Hip Hop gave it 5 stars. All Music gave it 4 stars. Entertainment Weekly gave it a B+. Q gave it a 4 stars. Rap Pages gave it 4 stars. Rap Reviews gave it 9.5 out of 10. Rolling Stone gave it 4 out of 5, and The Source gave it 4 out of 5 stars as well. All right. So there you go. And as far as like how it did in the charts, it went as high as number 5 in the top Billboard 200, number 1 in the top R&B hip hop albums, and number 11 top Canadian albums, which was crazy in its own right. So yeah, there you go with that. Now let's get into the tracks. So again, there's 24 tracks in this whole album, and which means I got my top 5. Really, there's 16, but that's still qualified for me to give it my top 5. Number 1 is Glamour Life. That track right there, the beat was out cold. That one featured Cuban Link, Triple Sess, Fat Joe, and Armageddon. So basically, I'm assuming this is Terror Squad right here. Obviously, Cuban Links was a member of Terror Squad, and obviously Fat Joe founded Terror Squad. I don't know about Triple Sess and Armageddon, but I'm assuming they were as well if they were on this album, on this track, track 13, Glamour Life. Yeah, and that's the outro track. Number 2 is Tres Leches, the Tribobo Trilogy, and that one is much later in the album, track number 21, and that featured Prodigy, Expect the Deck, and Big Pun himself, obviously. Another outro track right there. One of my all-time favorites. Number 3 is Boomerang. That's another one of my all-time favorites right there. Armageddon's on this track, but he does the chorus, the hook for this track. Boomerang, amazing. That beat is sick as well, dog. And then number 4 is the track that is named after the album, Capital Punishment, And that one featured Prospect. Excuse me. And that one's another outro track as well. And then of course number 5 is the track that got me to get this album, Still Not a Player. It has to be in my top 5. You know, that's one of my all-time favorite singles right there. Again, featuring Joe on the hook. And again, that's one of the songs, excuse me, that propelled me to get this album. Now there's, aside from those 5, there's a number of other tracks that was good, like Beware, Punish Me. We featured Miss Jones on the hook. You Ain't a Killer, another good one right there. Moving on down the list. I'm Not a Player, which is this the first single that was done. That was okay. And then of course we got Twins, D Cover 98. You know, that was another good one, obviously. You Came Up, that's another favorite of mine as well. With Noriega on the hook again. And Fast Money. Fast Money was another good one as well. Like, I listened to those more so, you know, I listen to all of them over I'm Not a Player, but that's still a good track. The beat is pretty straight as well. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions right there. Really, when I was doing my top 5, I was having a hard time deciding what should be my number 5. It was between Beware, Fast Money, and You Ain't a Killer. And then I was like, oh snap, I forgot about Boomerang. And I had to put Boomerang number 3 because that's one of those influential tracks for me. So that's why there was no controversy for what my top 5 tracks for this whole album should be. Now, regarding, let me give you some background info regarding this album. It was recorded from 97 on to 98, and you know the labels that was involved in the making of this album was Terror Squad and Loud Records. The producers involved was Juju, Rock Router, Nobody, LES, Big Pun himself, Fat Joe, RZA, Showbiz, Dead Prez, The Infinite, Architect, Mike Zulu, Domingo, Frankie Nitty Pimento, Young Lord, Minnesota, BIC, Danny O, EQ. Let me see, if I missed anybody, I just read the producers. Now let me look at the producer for track. See, Darhound and Nomad. Did I name Mike Zulu? Yeah, I did name Mike Zulu already. Okay. Yep, I did name him. LES. Infinite. Yep, got him down. I guess we could say Dr. Dre with the whole D cover track. We could put him in there as well. I believe I said Dead. No, did I say? Yeah, I did say Dead Prez before. Yeah, see, Rock Router, RCA. Yep. So that's basically it for everybody who was involved with the production of this album. Now, what do I personally think about this album? This album is one of the all-time best albums ever. It's on the level, in my opinion, of Reasonable Doubt, When Disaster Strikes, Illmatic. I'm going that high on this album. This album, everybody should have in the collection. Not just downloading digital. I mean like an actual hard copy. This one and last week's album. And so yeah, there you go. And let me name the featured guests on here before I wrap this up. So again, Fat Joe obviously was all over this album. Black Thought was on this album. Joe, Miss Jones, Wyclef was on this album. And actually, let me name the track. That'll be even better. So the first track was Intro. So, you know, just a little intro of some kids talking about some, oh, who can take out Big Pun? Can Spider-Man the X-Men take out Big Pun? It's hilarious. The next track is Beware with Fat Joe on the outro of this track. Then it was Super Lyrical with feature Black Thought. And then track, oh my gosh, track number 4 was Taster's Choice, which is a skit. Basically, it sounded like Pun having sex with 2 chicks in the backseat of a car or something. That's exactly what it is. And then number 5 is Still Not a Player with, again, Joe on the hook. And then it was a 21-second intermission. Nothing but a beat play. Now, the beat was out cold, but it was just the beat for 21 seconds. That's it. Then we got the Dream Shatterer, which was a pretty dope, pretty okay track. And then, of course, Punish Me. And, you know, again, the hook was by Miss Jones. Then we got Panamatic Part 1, which was a pretty hardcore skit because Pun just went off and just started shooting people. He nearly shot a 14 or 13-year-old as well. He shot one of his own boys as well. It was crazy. And after that, it was You Ain't a Killer. And then it was Automatic Part 2. another skit, and that one was pretty funny. Then it was the Caribbean Connection with features Wyclef Sean rather. That one was okay. That was and then of course it was Glamour Life again. My all-time favorite song off this whole album. Then after that, Capital Punishment, with again feature Prospect, and Glamour Life, which features Cuban Links, Triple Sets, Fat Joe Armageddon. In case I forgot to mention that. And then after that, it was the Uncensored skit, track number 15, with feature Funk Master Flex. Then after that, it was the first single, I'm Not a Player, track number 16. The track number 17 was Trends, D cover number 98, featuring Fat Joe. And then track number 18, in my opinion, the best skit I have ever heard, the Rain and the Sun interlude with features Dead Prez. The beat was out cold in that one. Then after that, it was Boomerang, where the hook was done by Armageddon, another out cold track. Then after that, it was the third single, You Came Up, with feature Noriega on the hook. Then 21, we got Trey Lachez, with feature Prodigy, Inspector Deck, as I mentioned already. Then track number 22 was the last skit on the album, which was a Charlie Rock shout. Lasts for 26 seconds. Then of course we got Fast Money, another cool track. And then the last track was Parental Discretion, with the hook done by none other than Busta Rhymes. And I thought he should have got a verse in that song. So that song would have been better, in my opinion, if Busta Rhymes would have got a verse in that song instead of just a hook. Because the way how he sounded on the hook, it sounded like he wanted to do a verse on it. So yeah, and like I said, I'm giving this album 5 stars. There's just too many good tracks on there, and 2 of the skits was good. Like I said, track 6, Intermission, and then the Rain, the Sun interlude, track number 18. The skits was good for both of them, mostly because of the beats. Really because of the beats. And then, like I said, I gave you my top 5, but there's a grand total of 11 tracks, I believe. Did I count that right? Actually, 12 tracks. 12 tracks that was at least great or up, and that's 12 out of 16. Not, you know, if we get out the hood, 12 out of 16 tracks on here was like great or above. So yeah, there you go with that. Again, give it 5 stars. This one you should have a physical copy of. So yeah, there you go with that. Next week I'm gonna review another another album. This is the new Jay Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and see y'all next time. Yeah.